My question for the speaker would be, then why is she here on a Saturday talking about a slimmed down version for the Postal Service? Is she saying that the Postal Service is more important than unemployed Americans? Is she saying that the Postal Service is more important than help to small businesses? Is she saying that the Postal Service is more important than sending payments to people? She's here doing a slimmed down version, very slimmed down version of a negotiation that took place a few weeks ago when we made the $10 billion offer for Postal. So it doesn't seem to correspond with the action that's being taken.
That was Mark Meadows weighing in on this bailout bill that we see unfolding. Lots of controversy surrounding the post office right now. We're now going to bring in Georgia GOP Congressman Doug Collins. He's a member of the House Judiciary Committee as well. Congressman, welcome to the show. As always, want to get your take on what happened in the House with respect to this vote. What was it really all about?
It was about political theater. That's all it was. This is Speaker Pelosi trying to extend the Democratic National Convention one more day to get a little more headlines, to take another hit at the president, and just to make a case that there is this vast conspiracy that is out there in the Postal Service, realizing that the Postal Service is still solvent until next August this time. They still have money. They still have funds. They have all that the Postal Service has done is has highlighted these states who were trying to, get too close to an election and having counting their votes and putting a time too short to actually get the votes in. But the real reason here is they simply, and this is, frankly, and I've said this before, this is Democratic voter suppression. They're trying to make people scared to vote. Speaker Pelosi said it. She said, you don't need to take your life into your own hands to go vote. That's just so false in a narrative that needs to be put out there. So this was just nothing but more than political theater, and really basically Speaker Pelosi putting a political statement over the American people in this crisis right now.
Congressman, I'm glad you bring up political theater. I have a question for you about appearances. This story gets more and more complicated. It is very reminiscent of the Russia story that drove the news cycle for years. I've had to do a lot of research and bearing into the details, and what you said is absolutely true. There's plenty of cash for the Postal Service. There seems to be plenty of capacity. Mail parcels are way down. But my question again is about appearances. There's been a slowdown in mail service since July. Apparently, consumers have noticed it. It's been admitted by the post office. And the Postmaster General said he wants to put off any of this streamlining until after the election to avoid the appearance of any improprieties. How do you explain the way this is coming off to a lot of Americans?
Well, we can explain it. And by the way, welcome to your new place there at Fox. It's good to have you.
Thank you so much.
I'm glad you hit it, because there's been two narratives here. I've been at the forefront of this fake Russia narrative and this whole impeachment sham that we've been dealing with for a long time, and the real issues of the Department of Justice. So there is a correlation here. Now the Democrats are coming up discussing this. Look, we have the Postmaster General did what I think is right, because unfortunately, I say this many times, perception is reality to many people, and the perception being generated by the Democrats is that there was this massive collusion among the Postmaster General and others to throw the election. The reality is during the virus, you have folks the mail system is working, but you also have the normal out cycles with people not being into work. And the post office is doing the best it can, and they're doing a good job of getting the post delivered to the people that need it. And I think that's the concern as we're coming into this, is there's nothing being taken offline. Go deeper here. They're talking about taking sorting machines offline. They're talking about closing, taking mailboxes and moving them. Some of the pictures that were actually used about mailboxes, standalone mailboxes being taken offline, were from years ago, and they were reusing them now to show that something was happening now. So this is just a deeper process that we got to look at here to say, look, we've got to get into an election. November 3rd will be the election. People will be allowed to go vote. They're going to have their chance to say what they want for this country, and I believe that we need to take the fear out of it, but they're using the Postal Service now just like they used the Russia impeachment to get at this president.
Absolutely. We're, Congressman, taking this morning to kind of preview what's happening at the RNC. The Democrats, Joe Biden said it's a battle for the soul of America. What do you expect the core message to be this week?
Well, I think last week we saw Joe Biden's message was a sunset speech. He sees America in the sunset of its greatness, where I believe President Trump sees it in the sunrise of its greatness. I think he's going to talk about it being a land of heroes, a land of opportunity, a land of hope, a land of greatness, one in which we can overcome even the virus and strive to greatness in this world. I think you're going to see a focus on what we have done, not what the Democrats saw as a land of disopportunity. We're going to see a land of opportunity, and I think the president and the RNC is going to put that out this week in our convention.
All right, Congressman Doug
We
Collins.
look forward to seeing what the RNC has ahead for us. Congressman Doug Collins, thank you for joining us today, as
Thanks,
always.
Congressman.
It's great to be with you. Take care.